もう一つの話。
Yeah, we're doing a killing game.
それこそが今宵の、そして後ろ宮家最後の親族会議の本当の理由だ。お前たちに求めるのは議論でも意見でもない。我が儀式に協力を求めるためだ。儀式？
Are you fucking insane?
静かに。お父様がお話をなさっている最中よ。
Oh my god, you're not going to get shit out of him anymore. Shut the hell up, Ava. Rudolph and the rest had automatically narrowed their brows at the occult-like word. Could he be planning to start some strange ceremony involving Beatrice's resurrection again? And he wanted their assistance. What in the world was he planning to do? Oh, by the way, what was that again part? What was that? That didn't slip by me, by the way. In the past, he'd carried out many fuck you, that he called by the same name, such as starting to burn a strange incense and filling the whole mansion with the stench. To the siblings, the ceremony was nothing more than one of the aged Kenzo's obnoxious hobbies.
お父さん、儀式とは一体。
私たちに協力できることなら
No, Ava, you're still brown nosing still. You're not gonna get jack shit. Shut the fuck up. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't do anything because that could include, murdering your children.
ねえ、ローザ。
Why are you always dragging her into this?
でも、一体何を？
Yeah, sure, but can I know what it is first? Come on, seriously.
私が碑文に刻んだ通りの儀式だ。
See, there you go, killing your family.
ベアトリーチェを蘇らせ、黄金鏡の扉を開く儀式である。肉体の檻を逃れ、私の指の隙間を嘲笑うようにすり抜けるあの魔女を今度こそ捕らえ、屈服させる私の最大の秘術だ。そのために13人もの命を生贄に捧げねばならぬがな。
Yes, I gladly volunteer for this. Go fuck yourself, buddy.
13人もの生贄は容易には集まらん。
Yeah, it's like people don't want to die.
しかし今宵は親族会議。これだけの大人数が六軒島に集まった。この儀式が行えるのは今日を置いて他にないのだ。
Taken literally, it sounded like he was telling them to become human sacrifices for his dark ceremony and die. Ridiculous. It's not, though. That's the sad part. Was it some kind of metaphor? But they didn't even have a clue what he was trying to illustrate. The siblings whispered together about what Kenzo was saying. Fuck that. No thank you. I'm leaving.
だろうな。しばらく黙って聞いてやる。
ごめんなさい、お父様。どういう意味でおっしゃられているのか分かりかねます。
I mean for you all to die.
何が分かりかねるというのか。私は至極単純に話している。ベアトリーチェを蘇らせる儀式のためにこの島にいる人間から13人を選び、生贄に何の価値もないお前たちも我が儀式の生贄としてなら大いに役に立てるというわけだ。
I'll take that as a compliment.
聞け、これは冗談でも何でもない。我が人生の最後に欲する最後の賭け、最後の儀式である。この島には今13人を超える人間がいる。つまりこの膨大な数の生贄を容易に満たせるだけの頭数が存在するというわけだ。 お前たちは我が儀式の生贄となれ。金蔵さん、あんたまさかあの話は本気だったのかね。
Nanja, the fuck you been hiding from us?
冗談ではなく、
Usually for him, Nanja's face changed the color as soon as he changed colors this as he stood up and shouted. Unusually for him. It seemed this wasn't the first time Nanja had heard all this dark talk about 13 sacrifices.
すまんな我が友。あれは冗談でもなんでもない。
Though theoretically Kenzo is dead before the next twilight or the morning, that's still suspicious. And anyone who lived might be in on like the scheme for him to have been alive. So if it ended up being like Kraus and Natsui living, and those were the only two living, it would be pretty suspicious, if I'm not gonna lie.
我が生涯を賭して最後に挑む儀式でありゲームなのだよ。そう、これはゲームだ。お前たちにとって我が財産を得て島を出ることがゴールならば、それを達する方法は2つしかない。13人の生贄から逃れ見事生き残り、今さらながら碑文の謎を解いて儀式を止めてみせるか。
You said that the time was up.
私を殺し、
I'd do that. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
この儀式を止めてみせるか。この2つしかない。
But he's still not behind it though, that's the thing. By now everyone wasn't just whispering but chattering and muttering away. Even the siblings had noticed that Kenzo was beginning to act abnormally.
お父さん、少しお疲れな源氏さん。お父さんは少し酒を。
Has he been drinking again? When isn't he drinking?
いいえ、親方様はご明晰であらせられます。
Change that to sober? Sensible is wrong. That's just the wrong word to use here. He's not sensible. He's insane.
悪いけど親父、何を言い出すのかさっぱりだぜ。親父が愛する魔女を蘇らせるためにどんな怪しげな儀式を始めてもそりゃ自由だぜ。親父の趣味なんだ。だがそいつに巻き込まれて生贄にされるのはまっぴらごめんだぜ。
Thank you, Rudolph, for answering how I would have. Yeah, it's a little much for me. It's been nice knowing you. Bye.
ルドルフ、お父様の話に口を挟む気？
Oh my god, Ava, how about you just go fucking become a sacrifice?
何言ってんだ兄貴。
No shit.
こんな物騒な話にはいそうですかでうなずけるわけねえだろ。
Really? Oh, really? That's a very interesting point you have. Was the ceremony Kenzo had mentioned literally something disturbing? Or was it his kind of task to choose the successor? It seemed that Rudolph had taken it literally. But Ava apparently still believed there was something like a test or examination to find a proper successor. What else would sacrifices mean? But Kenzo responded with a clear smile.
さて、私からの話は以上だ。異議も意見も何にも必要はない。4人の不出来なる息子たちがいたという私の夢が覚めるだけの話なのだ。お前たちにとってこれより目の前で起こることはまさに夢、幻、あるいはこの世のものと思えぬ理解に及ばぬ世界だろう。しかしそれこそが我が現実。お前たちという出来の悪き浅い夢は今こそようやく覚めるのだ。さあ、もうゲームは始まっているぞ。これだけいては誰から命を奪えばいいものやら。さらばだ、出来の悪き息子たちよ。そして生涯でただ一度、そして最後に私の儀式のために役に立て。いでよ、ペンドラゴンの記念兵たちよ。
Oh god damn it, not them again. When Kenzo raised his arms high like an opera singer and yelled as though towards a packed audience, the air shattered like glass and the outlines of 3 people who supposedly hadn't been invited to the island appeared. 3?
シエスタ45ここにシエスタ410ここに
シエスタ00ここにであります。
Are we just gonna have another one each time now? 3 girls with strange forms suddenly appeared behind Kento. Strange is, putting it lightly. Where from? When? Where? Why? Who? Who were they? The humans were thrown off balance and their minds went blank. Because they spent all the time thinking they lost their last chance to
お
survive.
前たちには6人の射殺を許可する。
The last one's just gonna be like, what the fuck?
標的は自由だ。攻撃開始。
自由射撃了解であります。
Again, whoever survives this room is going to be suspicious. Naturally suspicious.
良き標的に関しカット自由射撃開始。
一番乗りだね。
Yeah, I'd be leaving. Yep, it was nice knowing you guys. Bye. When 410 scratched the air with her finger, a golden bow appeared in the empty space, and she pulled its string. The golden arrow that had been readied there was fired off without any hesitation, flew around the room, leaving haphazard gold curves everywhere, and chose Natsui from among those sitting at the table of family comforts and pulverizing the left half of her face. Beautiful. Glad Natsui got the bullet first. Bye. Flesh and blood red, deep red blood scattered around, leaving massive red splatter marks on the relative's face and the purple-white tablecloth. Silence fell. Despite the massive number of deep red spots left on the tablecloth, no one could understand why Natsui's head was half smashed, nor why she was hanging her head as though dozing while still sitting. And they watched on in silence. Those sitting on Natsui's right side were silent for a relatively long time, but those sitting on her left were not. Because the people on that side had been shown how her head had been smashed open like a watermelon or a pomegranate. Splashed them. And could even see inside her. Nope, bye.
まずは一人。
I'm over the table leaving this room.
待つか。最後まで運のない女だ。
Okay, that's just a little mean, but you know, that's kind of true though.
00射撃
After scratching the empty air in the same way and readying her bow, 0000 fired as well. After it flew around at high speeds like the golden arrow 410 had released, drawing a convoluted curve in the same manner, it smashed half of Rudolph's head in the same way, as he looked at Natsui in shock, killing him instantly. This time everyone managed to avoid freezing up mentally. I think Cross will be the only one to survive here. Maybe Kiria. I don't know which one will survive. I don't know which one. They realized this time everyone managed to avoid freezing up mentally, and they realized that a fearsome murder had started playing out right in front of them, just as Kento had said. And they realized that Kento would probably kill even more. Shrill screams burst out. Even so, they didn't know what to do, so they could only keep screaming, flapping their open mouths like goldfish. What do you think sacrifices are? Exactly! As Ava asked Kento that in total shock, Hideyoshi, who had come to his senses faster than anyone else, had risen to his feet, pulled at her arm from behind. And he's dead. However, merciless fate choice for the third sacrifice was Hideyoshi. Just like the two behind him, half of Hideyoshi's head was neatly smashed, and the right side of his head, which had appeared to be facing that direction at the time, had been blown away with its contents exposed like a watermelon or a pomegranate. So still holding Ava, Hideyoshi slumped backwards and fell down. And still held her by her beloved husband, Ava fell over backwards with him. Ava screamed. It was only natural. Yeah, I mean, a couple people died before him, though. The face she had been looking for had been half lost. And the crushed skull had the smashed brains and the crushed jaw all lay bare.
45着弾命中
I think you can just see if it's a hit.
続けていて残りは3人であるぞ。おお、さん、これは何の真似です。
When Kraus stood up forcefully and was about to rush Kinzo, Duppelo blocked him. With her slender-looking body, she held back Kraus with just the palm of her hand. He still tried to resist and attack Kinzo, so Duppelo lifted Kraus by the nape of his neck and twisted it into his Adam's apple with her thumb. It seemed to be very painful, and Kraus was overcome with agony. Oh god, that hurts. Oh, that would hurt so bad. Oh god. Oh yeah, I'll go do that. Ninja Sharkboards finally dissolved the spell that had been holding them down in their chairs. When Goda and Kumasawa tried to escape from the dining hall first, 410 moved in an instant and appeared there blocking the way.
すっからいにみんなそう思ったかに
Out the window.
ゴーダさん伏せて
Even though Goda didn't understand, he crouched when he heard Kirie's sharp voice. Then a burst of air rushed above his head. Kirie had taken a big swing with the chair and mowed 410 down. But 410, still with the mocking expression, easily caught that widely swung chair with a single hand. Okay, Kirie, that's all you got? Come on.
おっかない女だに旦那の後がそんなに追いたい
From the cuff of her arm, when she had caught the chair, something like a shining gold snake appeared, wrapped itself around the chair and burst open. It was a fearsome power like a vice. When Kirie realized that the being in front of her, which looked like a girl, was actually something that was surpassed human knowledge, and that a human could not even begin to oppose, her head was filled with a fierce alarm bell that welled up from deep inside her. Genji, Shannon, and Ken and all of the servants permitted to wear the one-winged eagle continued to stand calmly at attention by the wall, even with a scene like this before their eyes, making them look very bizarre and eerie. For an instant, Kirie thought that they'd managed to stay calm because they were with the enemy, and had been given a guarantee that they wouldn't be killed. But as soon as she thought that, the sight of Genji's face was blown away before her eyes.
45着弾命中
源氏め、これは運が悪い。安らかに眠れ、我が友よ。そなたの死は無駄にはならぬぞ。我が愛しき魔女復活の重要なる13の鍵の一つとなるのだから。
The half of Genji's expression that remained was as indifferent as ever. He tilted, it fell over, and sent a blood-red spatter out across the floor.
源氏様
僕たちなんて所詮は魔女の駒なんだ所詮
I'm glad the regular Ganon's back. From the meek and frustrated, no, resigned expression of Shannon and Ganon's faces, one couldn't sense any naive hopes that they'd be rescued. That's right. Kinzo was, in the truest sense, carrying out these murders at random. In the truest sense, he was killing like it was a game to see who would have saved and who would have be killed.
さあ次は誰を狙うか
Not me. 410 looked at Kirie for a second. In that second, Kirie was prepared for her own death. But when she readied her gold bow in midair, 410 was looking someone else over Kirie's shoulder. So as imprudent as it was, Kirie felt as though she'd been saved. It's probably Rosa, right? Again, an ugly, exploding, popping sound rang through the room. It was at this time, when Kirie turned to face the direction of the sound. She saw blood gushing like a fountain and Ava lying on her husband's chest. Okay, that's not surprising, actually. Of course, her face had been half smashed like her husband's. 410 had mercilessly targeted Ava as she clung to her husband's corpse, sobbing.
兄さんを離して兄さんを離しなさいもうやめてお父様こんな残酷なことはもうやめて
God damn it, she's gonna die next, isn't she? Rosa's objection didn't reach Kinzo as he continued to laugh loudly in the blood-spattered dining hall, and she wasn't able to last him across his pain at being lifted up by the nape of the neck by 0000. So Rosa had no choice but to use force. She lifted up a chair beside her and gave a warning.
お父様兄さんを離すように命令してこんなことをやめさせて
できぬな。それを望むならばお前の自らの力で阻止するがよい。自らの運命は自らの手で切り開け。常に誰かの背に隠れ怯えてきたお前に宿る人生最後の国旗を見せてみよう。
お父様
I mean, come on. The chair that Rosa had lifted up swung down at a father who had reigned as a symbol of terror for her entire life. It was the greatest and final act of bravery and self-control in Rosa's life, and she's gonna die. What Kinto had said might have been true. If she had grasped that courage much sooner, her life might have become more free, unrestrained by anyone else. Then there was a bursting sound. The sound of Rosa's chair fiercely hitting Kinzo. Could not have been this. The chair still lifted up. She nearly lost half of her head and slumped over. Surprise. Fucking go fucking figure, right? Kill yourself. God damn you. Still holding cross up with one hand, Double O had struck her other hand out towards Rosa. The gold snake released from that arm had constricted Rosa in a helix and smashed into her head.
防衛射撃資金団の無礼をお詫びするであります
構わん。これで6年で
はいゴールドスミス卿これで6人であります
Who the fuck's left? Kraus. Kyrie. Servants. Shit. When she indifferently communicated that, Double O let go of Kraus, whom she had been lifting up this whole time.
第一の番の生贄はエヴァにルドルフにローズ夏日秀吉そして源氏であるか
It was a massacre that happened in an instant. The interior of the dining hall had been dirtied by blood splatter, and the 6 unlucky victims lay with their heads brutally exposed. In a way that was fitting for that abnormal space, Kinzo's abnormal laugh alone echoed out.
いよいよに幕を開けたぞ。ベアトリーチェを蘇らせる儀式の始まりだ。運よく第一の番を逃れた者たちに我が友人たちを紹介しようではないか。いでよ、我が友よ、ロノウェ。
When Kinzo called Ronave's name, the demon butler showed himself in midair, bowing respectfully.
皆様方、はじめまして。
Hi, Ronave. Nice to meet you again.
ご無沙汰の皆様におかれましてはごきげんこれはまた派手に散らかされましたよって
よいわ。我が白チュームのごとき日々を覚ますにはこの程度の刺激が必要だ。紹介し我が友人であり頼れる執事であり72柱の大悪魔であるロノウェだ。
He makes excellent sweets.
以後
Just who was he making the introduction to? Cross and Kirie, who were still down on their backsides, and Nancho Goda and Kumasawa, could only look up at this middle-aged gentleman they didn't know in shock. Only Shen and Kennen seemed to recognize him and they bowed deeply. Once again, a silhouette of someone the relatives didn't know appeared from empty space. She appeared in a refined dress while making an elegant greeting. You can't always get what you want now, can you? No, thank you.
お断りしようにも、あなたの強力な召喚霊族下にある身では、それも叶いません。御意に、親方様。
それにしても、恐ろしいお方だ。シエスタの姉妹兵を3人も召喚し、私に加え、さらにワルキリア様までも召喚せしめるとは。
Bet he won't summon the Seven Sisters.
召喚という能力においてのみとはいえ、お嬢様をもはるかに上回るとは恐ろしい。後ろ宮の地に戦慄を覚えます。
ベアトリーチェ復活の儀式を執り行うために私まだ足りぬな。
Yes.
この度の儀式の完璧なる遂行のためにさらに召喚しよう。
More.
ペンドラゴンの記念碑にロの上にワルギリアまだ呼べるぞ。我が魔力ならまだまだ呼べる。
I'm hoping for the ones I want.
我が召喚にこ72柱が一人ガープよ。
What? Who? Who the fuck are you? Gap?
あれまでも権限できるというのですか？
Who? Who cares about her? No, give me the good ones.
さらにこの島の侵食が進んだということでしょう。
Yeah, this means
私たちが権限できていることです。今さらどんな大悪魔が呼び出せたとしても驚くには値しますね。
彼を屈服しないと読むのです。
前回たっぷり入れ知恵をなされたでしょう。この程度では今さら屈服しますね。おそらくです。
I don't plan on it, Runaway.
さて、私たちはこの舞台を楽しもうではありませんか。今回の主人公はどうやら親方様のようだ。お嬢様とは一味違った脚本に期待しましょう。
Oh, what the hell? Gap. What the fuck's a gap? When Kento strongly concentrated his magical power, a pale light gathered in the empty air, twisted, and a magic circle was drawn in the air with a deep red glow. Oh my... What the fuck? Oh, good lord, what the hell is this? And with the sound like breaking glass, a new demon could be seen here.
よくぞ我が呼びかけに応えた。72柱の大悪魔が一つガープよ。
すごいところに呼び出されたものね。この血まみれの部屋を掃除するために私は呼び出されたのかしら。
Yeah, get to work.
ゴールドスミス。
The literally devilish woman, wrapped in a venomous, ominous costume, looked at the scene which should have made her cover her eyes, twisted her mouth in a grin.
そのためだけにあなたを呼び出すとしたら、 それはまるでカシミヤのマフラーで雑巾掛けをするようなものですよ。
お久しぶりですね、ガープ。あなたのような大悪魔がとうとうこの島に現れてしまうなんて。いよいよこの島も幻想に沈むのでしょう。
Hey, might as well, right?
部
Probably.
屋の参上よりもこの豪華キャストの方が驚くべきね。シエスタ姉妹が3人もいて、大悪魔ロの上に大魔女マルギレに私まで。これは何事？ここはパンデモニウム。
Sure.
地獄の演奏会でも始めるつもりかしら。なるほど。そこで指揮棒が震えるのはあなたぐらいしか思いつかないわ、ゴールドスミス。
そなたにはベアトリーチェをよみがえらせる我が儀式遂行のための進行役として協力してもらう。我が召喚契約に依存はないな。
依存も何も。天下の大魔女ベアトリーチェを刺激した伝説の大召喚師ゴールドスミス教の召喚霊族にまた協力をするわよ。もちろん見合ったお題もいただくけどね。
Your price is being summoned here. You get over yourself.
で最初の仕事は
第一の番を免れた間抜けどもを捕らえよ。幸いにもここにはまだ7人いるではないか。南條にシャノンにカノン、ゴーダに熊沢、キリエにクラウス。ほう、この7人をまるまる生贄に捧げればちょうど13人だ。第二の番以降を実行するタイミングが訪れるまで生贄の檻に放り込んでおくがよかろう。
What?
カシミヤの雑巾だけね。了解したわ。
As Gab shrugged her shoulder, she looked at Kraus, who was still down on his butt. She glared. Then when she snapped his fingers, Kraus was swallowed up by the floor as though the round pitfall had opened up beneath him. Well, go on.
いっちゃう。
No, thank you. There was no hole in the floor, but it certainly looked as though Kraus had been swallowed up by a hole and disappeared. What? Searching for her next prey, Gab's gaze crossed Kyrie's. She snapped her fingers. Kyrie jumped back as though repelled. Her instincts had been right. After all, the place where she had been until a second ago, a round jet black hole had appeared, the same thing that swallowed up Kraus. However, before she could catch her balance, another pitfall opened and swallowed her up. Even Kyrie had no way of eluding Gab's capture. I don't think he would have even tried. When she snapped her fingers again, a shocked Nanja was swallowed up by the floor and disappeared. Cannon and Shannon probably won't put up a fight. When she did it again, 410 let out a short yell and jumped back. This time a slightly larger pitfall had opened, swallowing both Cannon and Shannon, who had been standing in a line by the door. But because 410 had jumped away from the door, the way was no longer blocked. Instinctively aware that he would be next, Goda dashed out through that door. Of course, Kumasawa also escaped with lightning speed, chasing after Goda. Go a different way! As Gab snapped her fingers over and over again, I will get this one time. Round jet black pitfalls opened one after another behind, chasing them. However, they did nothing but drive the reckless, fleeing pair away and couldn't swallow them up. Goda and Kumasawa had escaped in a matter of seconds.
鈍ったわ。二人逃がした。
Bye.
ご安心を。逃走目標を捕捉中であります。
データリンクよし。
I'd already be way the hell off this island.
狙撃しますか？
いいえ、それは許可できませんよ。貴重な生贄です。親方様の許可を待つよう。
大ゴールドスミス卿、指示を待ちます。
第二の番の訪れにはまだ早いと。 我が魔力の源泉がささやいておるわ。今はならぬ。好きにさせてやれ。どうせこの島からは逃げられぬわ。
親方様の魔力の源泉とはすなわちノイズとリスクと運試し。
So theoretically speaking right now, the only people to survive that we know of, that at least it seems that way, is going to be Kumasawa and Goda. Not saying it's suspicious, but it's a little suspicious.
つまりは気まぐれというわけですか。
そうとも言うかもしれぬ。ガーご苦労であった。儀式はこのまま着実に進めよ。さて、それはそれとして、次は我が孫たちだ。次期当主たる資格があるかどうかを試す。はてさて、どうやってその資質を確かめたものか。
I'm still waiting for him to say, I know of this epitaph and riddle that they can solve.
その資格があると判断されたなら、ベアとの復活を断念されるおつもりね。
無論だ。
Of course not.
にもかかわらず試す。女の身にはわからぬであろうな。この矛盾、我が狂気など。
Or you're legitimately just insane and no one can understand you.
相変わらず男ってどこか変ね。リスクを遊ぶという概念わかりかねるわ。
おやおや、あなたはそういうのが大好きかと思っておりましたが。
もちろんね。ただしイケメンに限る。星塚に死後を慎むように。
Thanks for ruining all the fun.
実にかしましい奴らだ。だが少なくとも退屈はせん。これだから召喚は愉快なのだ。そなたらには我が儀式のノイズとリスクの天秤の片側を担ってもらうぞ。その働きに期待している。
6 brutally murdered corpses lay in the dining hall, and it was contaminated with red, gruesome decorations. It was now unimaginably that, until just a few seconds ago, 13 humans had been arranged here in a well-organized manner. Ginzo lined up the famous demons and their subordinates, loudly declaring the beginning of a night of overwhelming mass murders, and swore to himself that he would certainly revive Beatrice and open the door to the Golden Land.
待たせたな。
Magic, magic all around. Jesus Christ, what the
これに
fuck?
て第一の番。いよいよ開幕開幕。
Give me some reds before any of this.
金蔵め、相変わらず派手を好む男よ。付きまとわれればしつこいことこの上なき男も、舞台の上ではこれほどまでに映えるというのか。
くそ、相変わらず黒い殺し方ばかりしやがって。頭部半壊だ。てめえら魔女ども悪魔どもの悪趣味には相変わらずうんざりさせられるぜ。
頭部半壊。なるほど。これまでのゲームで一番理想的な殺し方がこれだと気づいたわけね。
理想的？このひでえ殺し方がどう理想的だってんだ。
I can only assume because it makes it see, because it's just enough of the face to be recognizable. Has it been updated? I probably should read hers. I'll eventually read all theirs. No, it has not. So until then, Gap, one of the 72 great demons, also Beatrice's friend. God, there's so many. She grants the ability of instantaneous movement. She uses this extraordinary power for playing pranks mostly. Her specialty is hiding keys in bags during busy mornings. Oh, that fucking cunt. However, in the context of closed room mysteries, this power becomes an ultimate weapon that can easily strike a finishing blow. Her queen bee strikes are likely to pierce any and all detectives, forcing them to surrender. Well, looks like I have a worthy opponent. That one. A weapon of the Sisters Cavalry, which serves a Pendragon. Double O is their calm and composed leader, however this is merely the role demanded of her since she's far more frail by nature. She excels at reconnaissance and serving as an advanced guard, displaying extreme supremacy in unexpected encounters. However, her excessively powerful fighting strength have been called inhumane. It isn't rare for her to be lynched and abused when she surrenders on the battlefield. Her one eye silently speaks to that. Interesting. Oh god, she's here too.
お前はさっき登場しやがった新しい悪魔とかいうやつか。くそ、また魔女の侵食が進んでろくでもないやつが増えたというわけなのか。
The more the witch's corrosion advances, the more Rokenjima tilts toward the spirit world. That's why strange insane people keep appearing one by one. This island has been closed off by the typhoon, so no human can leave it, much less appear as a new character to increase their numbers. But the more the corrosion advances, the more witches and demons can appear without limit, increasing one by one. By now, there might be more demons than humans among the characters appearing in this insane tale. That actually might be true. It's actually really close. Because you have the 7 sisters, you have the 3 rabbit girls. So that's 10 already. Gab, Ronove, Virgilia, Beatrice. And it then puts up to 14. That's a fuck ton. Their numbers might be a thing that represents this mad corrosion. Yeah, I'm sure that's true. And the corrosion hasn't just affected the number of people, but apparently their fashion sense as well. If the corrosion advances any further, and even more weird people appear, just what in the world will they be wearing? It's so scary, I can't imagine. Is it scary, though? Ah, seriously, give me a break. Don't make these weird guys increase in number anymore.
そうはいかんぞ。まだまだ増やすぞ。人間どもの語るクローズドサークルなる間抜けなルール。わらわがいくらでも怪我してやろう。よく来たな。我が優雅なるゲーム。ガープよ。
お久しぶりね、リーちゃん。お元気だった？というか随分元気そうじゃない。あなた若返った？私が知ってる頃より200-300歳は若々しいわ。
Oh, good old endless witch humor. The demon grandfather had summoned and introduced his gap. Took a glance at me and then grinned as though she'd figured something out on her own. That smile felt openly obscene.
ベアとの友人らしいな。ってことは輪をかけてろくでもねえやつってわけだ。しかしクローズドサークルがなんとかって言ってやがったの。どういうこと？
Are they gonna do another one of the episode 3 closed circle things? Or at least attempted closed circle, because I mean they all are solvable because humans are doing it, right?
今の六天島のような外界から断絶された場所で起こる連続殺人ミステリーはクローズドサークルとも呼ばれるの。外界からの断絶、つまりは閉じられた輪の世界という。故に登場人物と容疑者は限定されるのが一般的。にもかかわらず、新しい容疑者候補が次々に輪の外から追加されていくのはミステリーの作法に反する。
That is true. It does make him slightly unfair.
つまり人間とミステリーに対する魔女の棒とってつもりなんでしょう。あなたがグレーテル？
Well, that's what her fake name is, but yeah.
なるほど。賢い子みたいね。そういう子は好きよ。舌が甘くてとろけるから。
That's thanks.
気色悪い。冗談は膨ら
Wow. Okay, that's a little harsh.
デビリッシュプリティの最新作ジャック・ザ・リッパークリスマスブラッド
Yeah, okay. Calm down now.
人間界の田舎娘には理解できない先生ごめんね
通気性がいいのだけは理解できたわついでに頭にも切れ目を入れたら
Oh my god.
脳みその通気性も良くなるかもね
ガープは魔界の流行にいつも敏感でなしかし今年の流行りも実に大胆だわらわも一度ぜひ取り寄せてみるとしよう
Go ahead. Sure. I'm not gonna stop you. Order some for the, Seven Sisters, why don't you?
リーチェにはアリグレがおすすめねアリス&ザ・グレーブヤード今度一緒に666の洋服見に行きましょうよたまには魔界にもいらっしゃいな
I don't know, it's the weather's always bad down there. It's always conflicting. Sorry.
このゲームを終えたらぜひそうしようぜそれにしてもリーチェの対戦相手のお二人はなかなか可愛いなこの子なら東部半壊地帯にどういう意味があるか察しがつきそうねわかるお嬢ちゃん
さっきこいつは一番最初のゲームを思い出せとどういう意味だ
言葉通りの意味
Just what sounds like a dipshit.
一番最初のゲーム第一の番を思い出して大人たちの死体が魔法陣の描かれた電源倉庫の中で発見
Yeah, all
され
their
た
heads were smashed.
覚えてる
And then you couldn't recognize them, you only identified them by the clothing they were wearing. Episode 1. The first Twilight. Kraus, Rudolph, Kyrie, Rosa, Shen, and Ganon. All 6 of them had their heads pulverized and died.
あの時あそこには2種類の死体があったわそれは顔面を粉砕された死体と側面を粉砕された死体の2種類
Yep.
そうだ顔面粉砕ルドルキリローズゴーダンの側頭部粉砕フラウスシャノンの2人わらわもあの時点では気まぐれに生み出した2種類の死体であった
I don't think so. There has to be a reason why there is a difference between that. It's strange.
より残忍な死体である前者の方わらわにとってむしろ不利であることに気づいたの
ベアトにとってそうかそういうことか
That's right. The smashed faces might look atrocious, but that makes it harder to confirm the identity of each person. For example, at the time Uncle Kraus and Shannon had their heads half smashed. That alone was atrocious enough, but because half their faces remained, it was easy to confirm their identities. The only thing is, who was the people to actually see her? Because I know, like, Nanjo probably did. But I mean, I know George didn't. Cannon didn't? Maybe he did, maybe? I don't remember, but I mean, you can fake... I don't know, because it never actually showed her face actually smashed. I know how awful that is to say. But it might not have actually been smashed. It could have just been, you know, like something covering her face, or maybe it wasn't even her. And they just said it was her. But Dad and the others three were different. Because his face had been completely destroyed, even I, as his son, could only guess it by inference that it had been Dad because of the clothes and the light. In short, it remained vague up until the end whether that really had been Dad's corpse.
第一のゲームの時にもしも推理バトルが行われてたなら俺は多分親父たちの死体を本人確認不能のため偽装死体の可能性もあると主張していたかもしれない何しろあのゲームの時にはベアとは一切赤での発言をしていない
お上手よそれで正解たとえ医者に検証させたとしても 犯人とグルを疑われればその結果を信用できない。
Which is exactly what I think he is.
つまり確実な死を保証できない死体は常に魔女サイドを不利にするという。
あらゆる死体について偽装死を疑い、その後の事件の犯人に想定することができる。バトラの嫌う手だけど、魔女に対する最も初歩的な一手ね。
Exactly.
ああ、そうだ。だからベアとは赤を使い出して赤き真実で完璧な検証を行うようになったんだ。
そういうことだ。本来ならばこの第一の番の惨劇に対しわらわはすぐにでも赤き真実を。このしかし知っての通り、今回のわらわの戦闘、これまでとは正反対、赤き真実の兵糧攻めといったと。
That only hurts you though.
どなたが反撃の拠り所にしようとする以上、わらわは容易には赤を使わない。
Like if you don't use red at all, like to confirm these deaths, then I can just say that these people didn't actually die.
必要最低限の赤にて、たった一箇所だけほころびさせればいい。つまり、わらわは究極的にそなたのあらゆる密室の推理について、あらゆる暴言を許せる。そのうちの一つ、たった一回の若き真実にて打ち破るだけで良いわけだ。
散々俺をいたぶってきやがったくせに、俺が反撃に使い出したら今度は引っ込めやがったってわけだ。ふざけやがってよ。
とにかく赤を使いたくない。蹴散りたい。バトラをいじめてやりたい。しかし赤を使わずに確実なる死を保証するにはどうすればよい。わらわは悩みに悩んだわけ。そのアイデアをガープがくれた。実に簡単な方法だったのだ。当たり前なことを言ったらリーチがひらめいただけよ。私は誰にでも容易に身元の判別と完全なる死が理解できる死体を用意すればいいと言っただけ。つまりはその2つを合体させたわけよ。身元の判別に必要な顔と完全なる死の象徴である魂の器たる頭部の粉砕。
This is interesting, the way she's doing this. It implies that that something's already been overstepped and she needs to go back and she needs to protect. That means there's something weak in the last episode that can be exploited, and that's why she's not announcing the death anymore. I think it's very important that, especially moving forward, that there's going to be fake deaths. That even though she's saying that, you know, pulverize the head and all that, I think they're going to be fake deaths. Somehow, in some way. Because if she doesn't confirm the death of the other people in the future, it's very suspicious. And I already suspect, you know, Canon and Shannon in that sense. It's interesting that both of them didn't die. When I would have, if you want to, you know, dispel any suspicion on them, you'd have them die in a very gruesome way. And if these people die, or indeed pulverize their head, and there is no way I can argue that, you know, that it's a fake death, then I can confirm that these 6 people are innocent in this game itself. Which is a pretty big step. And then the only people that she does confirm as dead is suspicious. If she's going to take this route. Which is why in the second game it's suspicious that she confirmed Canon's death and not someone else's in that same regard. Because she technically did say Jessica's corpse, but she didn't say dead, theoretically. She could have been... Because a fake body is still technically a corpse. if you don't know it's faked. So technically it still could be fake. The only one she's stated absolutely was Canon is dead. That's important. And she's not going to do that moving forward, so I'm going to assume it's going to be pretty important to really focus on that.
食パンと二色アイスが好きだろ。欲張りな子供市民丸出しだぜ。
いずれにせよ、たとえ頭部が反壊していたとしても、現時点では彼らが死んだとみなすべきではないわ。
Exactly.
分かった。ベアトがもったいぶって赤での宣伝を拒む以上、全てを疑ってかかるべきだ。
It's very important that she's not
も
denying
ち
it.
ろん、シエスタの太もも姉ちゃんたちの魔法殺人だって鵜呑みになんか絶対しねえぜ。
本当に慎重になったこと。最初のゲームの頃だったなら何でもかんでも鵜呑みにしてくれていたのよね。法敵手はこうでなくては面白くないというものよ。今は赤がないことをさえ自由な想像を広げ好きに推理を重ねるんだよ。
I mean, you just have a lot of different theories, and then it's fine.
一番美味しいところ、バッサリと赤き真実にて叩き切ってくれようぜ。
I just had to come up with a bunch of different fucking theories, and I should be fine. This is gonna be easy. First one, servants killed people. And ended, and that's how, you know, that's what happened. They hid the bodies after they killed everyone, all the family members and all that. Another one that... The hell?